we are Buddhists, we will call that word sati. That's what I would like Ajahn to explain more about sati really mean. Thank you.
Usually, when we don't hear anything about the teaching, about the truth of what is there, we use the term we use for Saddha. See? And if there is no hearing about the teachings at all, do you hear the word Saddha? See? No word at all if we don't study about the teachings, about the truth. So Saddha is a reality, but so many wholesome realities or Citasikas are there, different, so very subtle difference between each one. That's why at moment of kusala arising, there are so many mental factors or Citasika arising. Each perform its function. So what is Saddha? See, as it said, purify the Citta and the Cetasika which arises together. What does it mean? It means that without Saddha, without any wholesome Cetasikas, Citta is so dirty, it's not clean at all. Who knows that when there's no wholesome moment, they are usually unwholesome moments, if we don't talk about the other kinds of Citta. See, the dirtiness of Citta is any moment of ignorance and attachment and aversion. And as much as we can see or use the term, the word for it. But the reality is so very subtle. What is sati and what is saddha and what is pañña and what is manasikara and what is cetana and so on. That's why hearing the word saddha, and when someone who listens to the teachings of the Buddha use the word saddha, is there any understanding of the nature of that reality, which is not other reality, not other mental factors at all. So saddha, at that moment when it's there, it claims because it is pure. That's why whenever it's there, no dirtiness or akusala can arise at all. And not just only Saddha, it needs other Cetasikas as well to be clean, to be wholesome. Not any unwholesome reality can arise together at all. That's why beginning to understand any moment of wholesome Citta, there must be many wholesome Cetasikas, and one is what we say, Saddha, the word in Pali. The reality which is clean and it purifies that which is there together with it because of its cleanliness. As much as we can understand the nature of Saddha, is that clean, is that pure. So when it's there, all Cetasikas cannot be dirty or cannot be akusala. Is that enough to understand until it appears as the object of understanding? No doubt about it, because it has its own characteristic and its own function. But even non-lopa, non-dosa, at moment of kusala, nothing appears as it is. Only one object, which experience an object, all of them has to be wholesome, because experience is that object with wholesomeness. That's all, as much as we can understand, because it does not appear yet as it is. Right now, at moment of kusala, saddha does not appear, but it's there, purify the cetasikas and citta, not to have a kusala reality arising at that moment. That's all. Until it's there known, experienced directly with understanding. So what is Saddha in truth? What moment? In daily life, paying respect to the idol, see, or something. Someone pay respect to the fish when it's different from any other fish. Just pay respect to that, or pay respect to the tree. See, anything can be object of respect without saddha when it's unwholesome, no understanding what makes it that such deeds. But goodness or wholesome realities should be respected. Is that right? And saddha is there at that moment. It's clean to know the object which should be respected. Anytime in life. So without saddha, understanding the kusala of kusala cetasikas, it's not there. We pay respect to anyone because of custom or training from childhood to pay respect to such and such. But is that saddha or no understanding at all? What is that? And paying respect can be at moment of understanding the goodness of wholesome reality. Even we don't need to pay respect by different manners, but the mind at that moment, the kusala moment, understand the truth of the nature of goodness, wholesomeness is there to be respected. So at moment of respected truth, understanding the truth, is there saddha, the citta is clean, pure, akusala cannot arise at moment of understanding what is respected, goodness or wholesomeness only. So at moment of paying respect to the Buddha in mind or by any manners, at that moment it's clean, it's pure, away from dirtiness or akusala. That is saddha. And there must be other wholesome cetasikas as well, not just only saddha. At moment of helping the other, see, is the citta pure, away from greediness, see, or clinging to that which is given. So the pure moment and the impure moment must be different, kusala and akusala. And if any cetasika does not show up, how can it be known? But learn about it is conditioned to recognize it when it's there appearing. Understanding the truth that it cannot be anything or anyone at all. It has its own characteristic, its own function. Purify what is there because it's so pure, it's clean. So one can understand that which is not clean, the clean cloth or the dirty cloth. See, when there is cleanliness, when it's clean, it means that it's not dirty by any dirtiness at all. So it's that which can be talked about, to learn about, to attend to, little by little, to understand the truth of actually each moment is no one. and nothing at all. Only different realities arising by conditions. Is that pure? Is that clean? No attachment, no aversion at that very moment. That's why don't just follow the word and the meaning, but the nature of that represented by such words.
Ajahn, it seems that the Citta is pure by virtue of Saddha, but understanding makes it even more pure. Is that true?
Different levels of understanding too. Different levels of Saddha too. Saddha without pañña, see, but it's pure, away from dirtiness or akusla at moment of giving things away, not buying, thinking about the result. But giving is giving. Just give away for the other's benefit. With right understanding or without understanding, but there must be cetasikas enough to condition citta to be away from akusla. Because usually akusla is there. So very quickly. Aswa, for sure, and other too, with the conditions for nivarana and so on. Usually, one thinks about giving as at that moment the receiver is a pleasant moment, and the giver, depending on whether it's pleasant or just indifferent feeling, but citta is there. It's good enough, clean enough to give, to donate, or to have someone for their welfare and so on. Different moment, different reality. At moment of giving for the other's benefit, the citta can be so pleasant. It's time to be able to help the others away from sufferings. Or ignorance. Citta is clean and clear, pure at that moment by acetasika, sattha cetasika, arising, performing its function to clean or to clear, to purify the reality which arises together, because it's clean, it's clear, it's pure. Nothing can arise together to make it not clean. Is Saddha Buddhist?
No.
See, it's a reality. It's Saddha Sati.
If I think about people who think Sattha is just sharing good deed, we call Sattha, I don't think it is a state, because just doing action but doesn't understand the reality.
That's why Dhamma is so very subtle. We learn about each different reality. Sattha is Sattha only. Right?
Yeah.
That's why we learn little by little to understand the difference between each reality, which is so very subtle. Like Sattha. See, we just talk about Sattha at moment of giving, but giving with what kind of citta? Attachment. My relative, my son, my sister, my daughter, and so on. Is the giving with Saddha. So just the outer appearance cannot be the truth. For example, Saddha has to be moment of wholesome cittas only.
Understand that, yeah.
But it does not appear to be known because so many cetasikas are there together. And without learning about each different one, how can there be the understanding of the differences between Saddha and other wholesome cetasika? Saddha can arise without pañña, but pañña has to arise with Saddha. Citta has to be pure. The reality which is pure is there. So everything arising with it is pure because of its function, purify what is there together. When it's there, whatever is there is pure. And who knows about different cetasikas without the realization of the Buddha? So who's the Buddhist? We used to talk about Buddhism or Buddhist. I'm Buddhist. But what does it mean? No understanding of the truth at all. Not even the moment of giving, for example, is that Buddhist? Have wrong understanding to try to have understanding by going somewhere, sit still, concentrate on one object. But is that Buddhist? So Buddhist is not the word or the name for anyone. It's the one who have confidence of the truth of reality taught by the Enlightened One. It's not just in the Buddhist sense. It's not that. It's the truth, no matter who. Even a little child, boy or girl, about 5 years old, she or he can give. And it's not she or he, the boy or the girl, but the moment of pure moment, wholesome moment, conditions such deeds for everyone. Who knows whether the fish can have kusala moment, helping the other fish by some way. Without the clean and clear and pure citta, without akusala, can it be done? Even just when there is attachment, it's not kusala, it's not pure, it's not clean, it's not clear at all. Because lobha is there. That's why we learn about the reality does not belong to Buddhism or Christianity or whatever sect. It's just the truth of everything that can be learned to have understanding of the truth of it. Otherwise, there can never be the understanding of the truth of whatever is now appearing at all. Each word can be studied. What is there now? It's real. Nobody make it arise at all. While we are talking, they're seeing all the time. When we do anything, seeing is there. It seems like it does not fall away at all. But who knows, just one moment, what is there? Seeing cannot be moment of hearing. They cannot arise together because it's the moment of different object appears to be known. Sound or smell, different way, different moment, different reality. And usually it's there clean citta, clear and pure at that moment, working with attachment, cooking with clinging and so on. That's why learn to understand that all kinds of cetasika, the wholesome factors, mental factors, are different. But at the moment when it's there, it's the cause or the result, it's the kusala or the akusala. There are many ways to understand it more and more, little by little. to have confidence, and then Citta is pure and pure and pure, without any doubt or any wrong understanding, any ignorance or clinging at moment of Saddha is there. But pañña does not arise. But when pañña is there, Saddha must be there. That's why there are different moments, different citta, different cetasikas at different level all the time. Just arise and gone. So learn about the truth of that which is there, so very short, gone. But it can be known. The next one, which is the same reality, same characteristic, recognize it right now. Hardness is a reality, arising and falling away. When there's no understanding, is it pure or clean or clear moment, kusala, wholesome? Impossible. It doesn't mind at all who's there, girl or boys, or what nationality and so on. Dhamma does not belong to anyone. That's why when we talk about the Buddhism, what does it mean? Buddha, pañña, which can realize the truth.